today. Looks a bit messy. Trust me, there is an awful lot of order within the chaos. Let me just put this over like so. Hopefully that is going to do what I hope it's going to do. Yay! It's doing the thing I hope it was going to do. Right. So, as you might know, I am Dr. Phil, and this is a circuit board. So what I'm currently doing is I'm just taking something called a MOSFET off. A MOSFET is essentially a silicon powered switch. If you want, the way they do it, it's like a valve in a tube drive, or whatever they call it. Americans call them tubes, we call them valves. Basically, as far as I know it, you put a little bit of current into this MOSFET, and it essentially enables a larger current to go through it and power things. So if you've got, for example, some piece of very slightly charged wire, you can use that charged wire to make something like an electric motor work, which requires an awful lot more power. That's the general idea. So essentially, you know, a switch activated by electricity. I think that's the best way of describing it. So there's all sorts of things on these things. I'll show you what they are. The reason why I'm getting the MOSFETs off is because they've got all sorts of weird and wonderful things on them, mostly silver and palladium. I'm after the silver because I'm desperate to make rings and stuff out of it. This particular board is actually a power board from a Samsung television. You've got some big ass capacitors over there. They're all very nice, except they probably contain nothing but aluminium, or aluminum if you live in the States. What I'm currently doing is I'm just unscrewing all of the MOSFETs, and you'll see what it means when I flip them over. This is just the last thing I'm doing before I'm getting onto the opals, and I thought, you know what, I'll do this on the live stream because somebody will be interested. Flip it over, I'll show you. Here we go, one of the last ones. And I'm making a note of the time. It's roughly 10 o'clock-ish, which is pretty good for me. Ordinarily, I don't start these things until, I don't know, 1:30. Oh, hello, person, whoever you are. Right, if we flip this over, you'll see this is kind of what the dealie is. Whoop. What have we got here? Okay, cool. So this is a heatsink, this is a heatsink, this is a heatsink. So I want those heat sinks. I'll pry them off very carefully. And by carefully, I'm going to not be careful at all, because I don't really need them. And yes, you might be saying a Phillips head screwdriver doesn't seem entirely appropriate to pry a heatsink off with. You're quite correct. I'm just using whatever I can find. I might even just crack the circuit board at the critical juncture. If you have a look at this particular circuit board, whilst we've got it in pieces, that looks like to me like what we call silver trace. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's a copper underneath it, but I think the top bit is silver, so that's good. That's going into my silver thing. Now, in case you're interested, these things are absolutely loaded with silver. Let me just grab one of these guys. I have learned very quickly that green means silver. Let's just grab this. Yoink. Let's see if I can get this done right, because usually I use acid to smash them open, but this has got disaster written all over it. So if you're wanting to watch a live stream in which somebody hurts himself, you pick the right live stream. There we go. Ow. That's only a reflexive ow. I didn't really hurt myself, but have a look at this. See that? Just in there. Let's zoom in on it. Right. See that little wire there? Silver wire. There you go. Simples. And we can do that pretty much with all of the stuff we find. Let me see if I can spot another one. I've just got a place where I put these silver wires. I've just got to make sure that I don't lose that. Because of all the materials that you recover, there are two really good ones. One is gold and one is silver. Obviously, you don't want to lose either. But what I'll be doing is I'll be popping the silver into here. But look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the 11 and 12, if you can see them, you can't see them. Yeah, there we go. Can you see them now? Not quite. The 11 and 12, they're quite big ones. So, all very good. Oh, look, here we've got a fuse. Show you that. Didn't exactly mean to do that because ceramic and breathing, not good, but never mind. Probably not going to hurt. Once again, silver filament. Yes, that is blood in my hands. And yes, it is caused from all of this jiggery-pogery. So what I'll just do is I'll just crush that. There it is. Nice silver filament. Another chunk of silver. The other thing I'm going to be doing, I was thinking that I've started a really good procedure for extracting gold. And I thought it's so good, I'll keep it secret. But there is a problem. That's where I've been keeping them all. But there is a problem. The problem is that there's this technique called an SMB drop. An SMB drop basically is the final stage of your collection of gold. And every YouTube video you see is just a perfect example of it. It's like, and now we add our SMB and look at the amazing gold just come along. That never happens, okay? Get it out of your head, it never happens. SMB drops are the trickiest of all of the things. And not only that, they're dangerous. So SMB stands for sodium metabisulfite. And sodium metabisulfite is something that if you acidify it with, say, nitric acid, you are going to get sulfuric acid in vapor form. So you're going to breathe it in. And you'll have breathed like 5 or 6 lungfuls of the stuff before you even realised you're breathing it. So it's not just dangerous, it's bloody dangerous. So I've decided to take a stand. When I've gotten the procedures all sorted, I'm going to show everyone how to do it, not because I want YouTube fame, but because I think we need to know this in the interests of safety. So having just taken, I'll take one more of these because they're fun. But I don't want YouTube fame for this. As a matter of fact, I think you'll find that later on I'll have my own version of fame. I've got a little scientific discovery that I've made, which might make me famous. But you know, I'm not telling you what it is because it's so simple that if I told you, you'd be able to write the paper up yourself. So I've got to be a bit secretive about it. But yes. There we go. More silver, just like that. And what I'm doing is I'm putting debris in there, not because I think that is actually silver, but because I should probably just go over it and check to make sure there is silver there. Right. So let me just move this over. I'm just going to try and grab out these. There we go. Now I've got some traction. It doesn't really matter that much that I'm taking it apart, but I don't want them to be in too small a chunk. Look here, look at these. I think these are silver. They look like gold, but I think they're silver. But either way, they are beautiful. Absolutely wonderful examples. That's what they call traces. So whenever you have a circuit board, there's several layers to the circuit board, and each layer has got traces on it, and that actually is an analog for wires. So you can see the traces are going into all the little components there. And if you zoom in on that, you'll be able to find out what those things are. I think they're surface mounted resistors, if I am not mistaken. But I am certainly not very good at understanding what the circuit boards are made of. I'm reasonably good at pulling them apart, but other than that, not much. And what I'm doing here is I'm just pulling these. These are probably either iron or tin, and so I'll be putting them into here because I've got a very special way of dealing with all of these components as a general rule. These heat sinks that I'm just removing are made from aluminium or aluminum, depending on what side of the pond you're from. And that means that if you put them in acid, they're going to start fizzing up something terrible. And that's not too bad. A bit of hydrogen gas gets thrown out, and that's not particularly good. But the bigger issue is the fact that you waste acid, basically. Because you could recover this aluminium like this. You could throw it straight in a forge at 600 degrees. It'll melt into an ingot. Or alternately, it's a heatsink, and I've got about a dozen projects that require heatsinks, so why would I go and get a heatsink if I can just acquire one from any old place? I'm just going to fold this in half. The deal here being that scrap metal recyclers would like to have aluminium. It's about $2 a kilo, which is about, I don't know, 50 cents a pound, I suppose. That's just a rough estimate, Americans. Oh, far out. Am I still bleeding? Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, I cut myself earlier. Note to everyone, don't cut yourself. So that can stay there because I don't need these to come out. I'm just removing the heat sinks. So that's the only thing that really needs to come out. And realistically, they don't really need to come out that desperately, but I'm just being thorough. The other thing to note is that the MOSFETs, they've got an awful lot of heat sinkage. That's because this is one of those Samsung TVs that, you know, it ends in on. The X on TV, it's got, you know, a million billion pixel counts, and it's got talkable interface that can talk to the interface, and it's got a screen that's so curved that like Einstein couldn't actually measure its dimensions, that kind of thing. And because of that, it takes up the power of 2 suns, and this entire circuit board that I'm pulling apart is devoted to powering it. That's that piece removed. I don't really need to have these pieces removed. I think they're stainless steel, although there is a forlorn hope within me that this is actually silver or something like that. Don't hold your breath, I would say, about this being silver. But there we go. Right. Once I'm done with this, there's one more heatsink to remove, and then that's all I really need to do. Then I just pop that in there. In with my spare aluminium / heatsink. Yep, just so you know, these are called bridge pins. They're interesting because sometimes they're silver plated themselves. I don't think this version is, but I'm putting it in. This is medium boards. Now, a lot of the time people don't put these in with medium grade boards because they're like, well, they're not very well layered and whatever else. But dude, that's probably silver. So yes, medium grade. I have a feeling that recycling companies don't want you to know what all of their components are made from, because I've done a bit of an estimation. I'm reasonably certain that the precious metal content in all of these things much higher than most estimates are saying. It's either a case of recycling companies don't know what they're doing and can't get the materials out of them, or alternately, they know perfectly well what they're doing and they don't want to tell people how lucrative it is. Either way, quite a reasonable assumption. Now, the last thing I wanted to do was have this thing to be so badly dismantled, but you know, can't help it sometimes. Okay, so the other aluminium parts that I probably should be wary in removing are these things, these capacitors. I'm going to snip them off. There we go. They can go in with the aluminium because they actually are aluminium. So what have we got here? I think if you find me pulling, if you take this off, it's either potted or it's got a little, it's another little fuse. This one, that's a capacitor. Put that in the aluminium. Are these ones? No, they're all potted. Never mind. We're not going to muck around with them. Because if I wanted to remove all the components, I would remove all the components. I wouldn't bother chucking them in the acid. The reason why I chuck them in the acid is because, because of this stuff actually. That's solder, but it is, even if it's got a lot of silver in it, it still is a huge proportion tin. And if you're going to do that thing we were talking about before, the SMB drop, tin interferes with it. There are some very simple hacks and tricks that you can use to actually stop tin from interfering with your SMB drops, but that's a different story. Right, let's move over to here now. Do I sell the coils? No, I actually just recycle them. And sometimes I use the coils. Like I've got various projects that I use them for. Mostly I'm into the metal salvaging, but as I learn more about the stuff, I actually use them more. So it's just depending on what we're doing. Let's have a look at these guys, because I think this is a really pretty part of it. I'll move this over to, let's see if we can get this really working well. It'll be worth it, trust me. So let's go, how do we do this? How do we do this? Ah, yes, I'll get this over here. There we go. Can you see that? Perfect, good. I'm going to move this right underneath so that you can see it properly. Right, here we go. Right. Now that's not as spectacular as I was hoping. Let's try and put this down here and we will clear all the space around here. You can see a little bit of green there. Let me have a quick look. Not the most spectacular of the opals actually. There's plenty more that are better. So what I'll do is I'll move these all out of the way so you don't get confused. I'll move this wire out of the way and then we will have a nice package for the opals. Matter of fact, I've got a nice little cover here that I can use. I'll just put that over here. There we go. And then we've got that. Perfect. So let's chuck a few of these on here because these are what I wanted to show you. Look here. Bit too bright now, isn't it? So let's just move this light rig back a bit. See how that goes. Right, and like so, like so, like so. So, still too bright. Okay, so I'll just turn this down. And then, yeah, that's fine, isn't it? Okay, we'll just do it like that then. What I'll do is I'll shine this over this side, I'll shine this over this side, and that should give us enough spill. Yeah, it does. What do you know? So there we go. Nice little opal, that one. Very, very tricky to cut, but nice little opal nonetheless. Alright, what else have I got here? Let's have a look at all of these, because all of these are pretty good. Some of these are from when I first started cutting opals, and some of them are from a bit later on. This is one of these things we consider to be an impossible task. Too much sand in there, but let's give it a go anyway, huh? I reckon we can go a long way with this one because, well, I've been cutting for a few years now and I reckon we can give this one a fair crack. Let's see. have a look here. This one here's a nightmare, but I'll give it a crack anyway. We'll see how far we go with it. But it is beautiful. Let me have a look at this one in real life for a second. Look. Not that crash hot, but you know, we'll use it anyway. Let's have a look at some of these other ones. Now this one's worth having a look at. I don't know whether we'll be able to succeed with it, but look at that, beautiful colours. Now the risk is it's just absolutely shot full of sand, so that one's going to be high risk, high reward. This one here, similar kind of philosophy. Hang on, it's getting it out. Yeah, it's in a tiny little container, very hard to get. Same deal, high risk, high reward opal. Lots of colour, but lots of sand as well. So these ones, let me have a quick look at it. This one is another piece of wood opal, and I can all but guarantee that basically the opal is following what we call the xylem, which is a little tube which goes within the opal, and the sand is doing its own thing. So that might be very difficult to work with, but you know, we'll give it a shot. Here's another nice piece of very attractive opal, one and very difficult to work with. So these are all the difficult to work with opals, high challenge, high stress opals. This one, it's a bit of a knobby. That's what we call them. This one here is one of the ones which I'm really interested in, because I think this one here has got a lot of good colour in it, and I think you can get something out of it. So we'll be watching that one very closely. Another knobby, a maybe not kind of situation, and then I've got 3 or 4 tiny little ones in here. I'll quickly fish them out and I'll show them to you. It's actually 5, I think, maybe even 6. Let's have a look. At this time of night, do not expect me to be able to count. Okay, so that one's looking pretty bland. That one is looking the opposite of bland. Got lots of colours in it. This one here is just got that little piece of colour right on the end. So look and see if we can find any more on it. None of my lasers are up and running, but I suspect that the only piece of opal you're going to see is on the end there. So that's going to be, that looks like just disappointment on a stick, really. So we'll see. We're gonna open them all up. We're gonna have a look. We're gonna see which ones we can do, which ones we can't. It'll all be fun regardless of what we do. Now see that red material there? That's just cut straight through the red material in the middle there. It'll be 2 opals. You can see on the other side. Will that become something good? I don't know, but it's gonna have a lot of fun trying. This final one looks like a lost cause, but we'll try anyway. Just a bit too small, just a bit too full of sand, but we'll see. Now over here we've got a few opals that I've started to just categorize on my lonesome. This one here, hopefully we'll see it, has got a nice chunk of red just right across the ridge. See if I can give you that. You can't see it. It's right where my thumbnail is. Can you? Maybe not. Oh well. That's a good one. We've got a few other ones which are interesting because they've got just like one little spot of colour. Let me see if I can find the colour in this one. There it is, yep. Okay. There's the colour in this side. So I'm just checking for the colour. Making sure I know what I'm doing. That's a full-on hope, me knowing what I'm doing, huh? Alright, so this one here, pretty much, I'm pretty certain underneath that cap is actually some nice colour. There's no way of telling you that, but you never know. All of these guys here are very much the same kind of thing. There's some epic coloured opals, there's some not so epic coloured opals, and there's some very interestingly structured opals sitting here. So I'll just show them to you very quickly. all of these guys, move these off. What I'm going to do after we've done all of this is we're going to have a quick attempt to find an opal before your very eyes. Yep, this one's got a nice piece of colour right in the middle of it. Let me see if I can spot it. Come on. You know you want to. Doesn't want to. But all of these have got colour in their own way. Some of them are very secretive colours. For example, this one here has got colour underneath this crappy cap. So it's going to be interesting getting through all of these ones. I'm going to put them into this container here. Final group here that I know what I'm talking about with anyway. Right. Moving these back into the container. There we go. And there we go. In you go. Right, the final group that I know what I'm talking about with is this one here. Let's just open it up. Once again, absolute stunning opal. Will we be able to do something with it? Who knows? Let's do the complete zoom in for this one now. Look at that one. Beautiful. This one here was done. Oh, I'll just take it all out. There we go. Perfect. This one was done when, well, I acquired it when I was very new to opal cutting, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a revisit of it. You can see there's colours within it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to re-angle the cut, because you can see that it needs to be cut along that axis. You can see just basically a line of material. So that one will be interesting. This one. Once again, nice chunk of colour. This one's clearly the lightning rigger. Once again, from when I was quite new to cutting, and now I know exactly what I can do with that one. I might even start with it because it's looking pretty easy to me now. This one here. Do not adjust your set. Yes, you can see that clipping just over here. So hopefully that one will do all sorts of magic. This one I don't think's got much in it. Bit boring. This looks very much like one of Riley Gunn's auctions, if you've ever seen one of those. This one's not as good. Looks nice, but it's not as good. You can see that nice little green banding, and there's a little bit of colour just there. So maybe we'll give this one a go. Nice bit of purple there. Once again, this is quite a common occurrence. You see this this opaque opal just sitting in a kernel inside a coloured opal section. If it didn't do that, the opals would be easy to cut. You can see there's some nice colours in there. Once again, quite a small opal. That's not colour. That's colour there. That'll be interesting to extract the colour from. We'll give it a go, don't you worry. We'll give it a red hot go, we will. This one I can tell was from quite an earlier attempt at cutting. You can see what I need to do. I just need to pretty much slice down the middle there. Very small opal, high precision task. But it's quite obvious what I need to do. This is the final one in that group. You can just see a little bit of opal in there. Right. So back in there you go. Now the final group I'm going to do is just a group of essentially randoms. They're not quite random. These ones I think I've got an inkling they have got some colour to them. Could be wrong about that though. And the other one I'm going to do is I'm going to do a group of opals that
I'm having a shower.
okay.
Incudotors of flyers.
What?
Inductors of filters.
Inductors. Okay, they're the. I was dealing with circuit boards earlier. What have you done with the camera?
But nothing. I'm not a photography student. Why would I ever do anything?
I don't know.
Oh, walking up the stairs with a bag was a wrong choice.
All right. Those ones there don't look like they've actually got much vim in them at all, actually. We're not going to worry too much about them then. I'm going to head outside. I'm going to grab some of the other opals and we'll see if we can find something with them. And then we're going to go into the cutting room. Or outside to the cutting outside. It should be a little bit more instructive because we've got ourselves quite a lot of stuff. So in that goes, we get a bit of water and then we'll see what we got, eh? Let's see. Exclude that one. Let's have a look. May even use the tongue technique. What I might do is I might have a quick look at them with my own magnification and then I'll figure out which ones are good. Slightly good. Doing a very quick high speed assessment of them. I think this one's got some chops on it. Let's have a look. No, can't see. Okay. Not as interesting as I thought it would be. Thought these ones were good. No, 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 no. Okay. That wasn't fun at all. Alright, let's try the underside, the steamy underbelly. Let's see if these ones do anything. Nope. Alright, that was max. Well, that was not as exciting as I was hoping it'd be, because I thought I had some good ones there. Oh well, we've got enough sitting here in our other set, but what I can also do is just quickly pour some water into these and see what happens. If I see some colour, I'll tell you. Right. I'm just going to pop this into the light again. Remember not to annoy it. Okay, let's have a look if we can find it. A little bit of colour there. Oh, a little bit of colour here. Have a look at this. See if you can spot it. move that away so we can see it in isolation. Right. Let me just shine another light on it, see if we can get it to do its thing. Do your thing, do your thing. Alright, so let me see if I can get it to work. There is colour on this one, I'm just trying to find it. Right. There it is, spotted it. Excellent work. Okay, so we'll take that one. And we'll take all of these and we'll take some of these. Have a quick look. There's one. No, I declare that boring. No, there is a bit here. And when I said a bit, I mean a bit. If you have a look on the end of this, it's just right there on the end. Yeah, you can see it just glowing away there. We might see what else is underneath all the stuff though. Sometimes it's a bit of a shock to the system, a bit of a surprise it is. And before we leave for the outside world, I've got two that I want to show you. We've got this jar of opals right here. So we'll just quickly rotate it and see if we can spot any colour. You can indeed if we zoom in on here. Where is it now? It's there, it's that one there. So there, see? Lovely. Can we get it? Probably not. I think we can spot another one. What we'll do is we'll shine all lights will be shined upon it. There we go. We shine them at a bit of an angle. That should do some magical magic. We also shine this one at a bit of an angle too. And then we just increase the power. 3. There we go. Perfect. Now, let's rotate with angles and power. There's one down there. It's not particularly big, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. There's that one again. It's up there. See if you can spot it. There it is. So, you know, there's a few opals in there. I don't think I'm going to dive in and grab them. The other one that we can work with is this one here. Zooming back so you can see what's going on. All you do is you just kind of there. Whoa. Let's see if this one's any good. You can see there's just a little bit of colour in it. Don't think it's really worth investigating. What I will be doing, however, is I'll be getting one like this one because it's absolutely covered in sand. So we'll find out what's underneath that sand. I think it's worth investigating. But we've got this one. We've got this one. And we've got whatever's outside. I think that's good enough. Let's go. Oh, before we go, drinky poo. Oh yeah. Drinky poo. Also, we're in the weird twilight weather of Australia at the moment. I don't know whether to put a jumper on or not. So I'm putting a jumper on right now, just in case. I know I should probably charge McDonald's for the advertising here, shouldn't I? But never mind. Here we go. Naturally, before we go out, we say hello to the residents of the area. Pontifex Maximus Annuus III. How are you doing? Come here. Yeah, scratchy poo. Ooh. Do you want to scratch or not? Okay, that's a little bit of a... That's a no, I will say. Funny thing is, he's looking at me with kind eyes now. I think it's because of my jumper. He doesn't like my jumper. My jacket, my sweater, whatever you like to call them. I don't know why you call it a sweater, because like the thing designed to make you sweat, I suppose. Hey Loki, 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 Loki. Too bad, you lunged at me. Basically, if I sell the coils, I sell them as scrap. I like making ingots out of the copper, but I also like reducing it down with acid, because sometimes it's a copper silver mix, and so I like getting the silver out of it, in case you're wondering. There we go. All right. Don't worry, I'll be back afterwards. It's all very exciting, I know. Where did I put the things? There I put the things. Yoink. Right. Been doing some forging experiments recently, so don't look at the floor. Let's look at this thing. Bing. This is my opal cutting apparatus. It's apparatus with which you cut the opal. Sitting down, nice. Okay. This one in particular interests me mightily because I think we might be able to get something out of it. So let's give it a shot. First things first, to just even it up and make sure that there's no fatal errors in the opal itself. What I'm hearing is a noise which really encourages me. It's a kind of a grinding noise that says that there is good precious opal in there. I know that sounds weird, but you really can tell. So here goes. What lies beneath? Oh my goodness, have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try and get it working for you. There it is, look at that. See that? Not even in focus. Beautiful little opal, this one. Alright, that's all we need. We just need to very gently shape it up now. Hard that bit off. All it needs to be is smooth. Well, that was rude. That's not it. Where did it go? Wow. I didn't even hear it fly. Hang on a second. Well, that's annoying. Alright, well that was a very good opal. It is now a spaceship from the looks of things. Alright, let's get another one going and see if we can try and, you know, not fling it into the nether reaches of the universe. Surely that's possible. Now look at this piece here, you can see there's some nice colour there. Don't go flying, honestly. Just believe me, it looks better than you think it does. Alright. Time to do a little bit of risk taking. This guy is nice, but very dangerous to try. Let's see what we can do. This is a big risk. We're going to have to give up on this one. Just too much sand in there, I'm afraid. It was a valiant try, but sometimes that happens. These ones are deliberately quite difficult, so I'm not surprised that some of them are not going to work out. Let's see what happens here. We may get a similar situation, but we're going to I don't know. I like the maxim that, you know, it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees, is what I reckon. So when we're going through these opals, we know full well that there is a good chance of failure, and we're taking that risk. Rather than just giving up immediately, we're accepting the risk and having a crack. Okay, let's try this. So I'm going to I've very nearly had it perfect. There's just this tiny little piece in there. Ruined it all. Now you've gone and ruined it all by putting some sand in there. Taking a risk here, but seems to be paying off. Right, let's just quickly flip. Right, there is a chunk of sand right in the middle of it, but I don't care anymore. We're making this into a gem. There we go. Right. If it wasn't for that piece of sand right in the middle there, it would be absolutely perfect, but never mind. I can decide to do something about that later, I reckon. Suppose I can discard it. That's it. That's the second one that's gone flying. That's alright. I'll just finish this one off. And if I finish that one off, it's success. There we go, tiny little gem. Still got an inclusion, but I don't care anymore. Alright, let's have a look at this one. Found the other bit, flung into the... These are quite challenging, these things. Going to go into another one, another type of opal soon, because there's only so long you can do this for. No, I don't think I can do that one either. That's what happens with these high risk, high reward opals. You get a lot of risk and not a lot of reward. That's a nice one. Okay, that finally came through because it was a bit annoying. Now this should be interesting. Oh, dude. Right. Yeah. This will be the last opal I'm cutting. We'll go back in and we'll say hi to the birds after this. But this one looks like it's going to be an absolute corker. Bit of a scorcher, this one. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's going to have to do a little bit of work on the back. Make sure that it's nice and good. But like, whew, the front is where it's at, I can tell you that much. Now the back's where it's at too. Good, excellent. Got two excellent spots now. Obtained a decent carat weight too. That's good. Quite unexpected, but you know, every now and then the universe lands something on your doorstep, you take it. Beautiful opal, this one. Alright, what have I got else in my hand, my hot little hand here? Well, let's see what this does, because once again, we've got some pretty good opal here. Sadly, I think that's the only amount of opal that's actually viable on here. I'll have to cut it again. Wow. Still, not a bad little oval. There we go. About half and half the only trouble is. Let's have a quick look at these guys. Is there anything else I can do on a time budget? Let's have a quick look at what this one does. Nah, not bad for time budget. Not bad, not good, but not bad. These are all lightning rich ones. Let's have a look. Quickly just go through them. Now that's a nice little oval. It's got a bit of sun. Oh, wow. Okay. Much better than I expected. Is that a crack or is that a feature? I think that's a feature. Okay, let's have a look at it. Definitely a sunflower style stone, that one. Beautiful little thing that it is. Certainly glad I hung around and finished this one off. Wouldn't have even known because it just doesn't look like that kind of stone. My arms are starting to hurt. Just trying to get this done. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Not quite shaped enough, but good enough, I reckon. All right. That's that done. Right, we'll go say a quick hello to the birds, and we'll finish this one horse show off. Ouchie, ouchies. Ouchie, ouch. Oh. Yoink, yoink. Come on, Max. Lakey, do you want to come out? Come on. Come on, step up. You're feeling a little bit lazy today. What? Do you want the perch, do you? Scratchy poo? Oh, really? What's going on with you, huh? I don't know. What's wrong? Okay. We have officially a bird in a snoot. A snit. What's wrong? Come on. Don't be such a... Oh, look at that. You've got a crest feather that won't quit. Come on. Let's have a look at it, huh? There we go. How's that, huh? Yeah, come on. I think he wanted the stick all along. He was a bit cranky because I wasn't doing it. Is that right, Maxie Bubba? Is that right? There we go. Don't give me stink eye. There you go. Side, up we get. Steppy poo, good bird. Yoik. Up we get. Up on here. Good bird. Hello. Like he's a little bit tired, but just wants a wee bit of affection, I think. What was all that crest nonsense all about? Birdie beard. Looks like Max is on the way out. Give him a bit of a free rein. He needs to have a bit of a fly. He hasn't had one in a day or two. Oh, you got a secondary that's coming off. Can I get that for you? I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. Here we go. Give me a wing. Give me a wing. I can take your wing feather off for you. Come on, you know you want it. Come on, do your wings out. Wings out. Wings out. Come on. Bring your wings out, huh? Bring your wings out. It's that wing feather there. He's molting, basically. So it's not unusual. Don't give me the stink eye. We're 5 seconds from getting bitten here. They're just a bit temperamental. Bring your wings out. Wings out. And I'll turn off this. That'll make life easier for everyone. What'll also do. Look. What'll also do. Oh, right, the children have been a bit of a messy bunch today. Oh, yoink. Let's sit down here and see if we can coax our good friend Max to just come around. I reckon we can. Come here. Right, Loki, step. Good bit. Onto. As an aside, I think there's a bird bomb on the way. She's very wary of me because I'm going for pin feathers. Some pin feathers are comforting, but if you get them at the wrong stage, they hurt. So I don't exactly have the best track record. Is it coming out? I think the feather came off. Hopefully it did anyway. Hello. Oh, you're not, are you? Max sneaking off into the Loki step. Oh, no, he's not. Here we go. It's just a fan. He does not like the fan there. But he wants some of this action. He wants some of this action. Come on, Max. Let's see if we can coax him. Where's my sticky stick? Max, come here. Come on. It's alright, I'll protect you, Loki. I have to take Loki back to the vet. It could be just that they're at the molting phase at the moment, but we were worried about plucking earlier on, and I noticed that her chest is a little bit light on in feathers. Now, it doesn't make you sound like a particularly good bird owner if you got a bird that plucks. It's a psychotic behaviour, but one of the other things is you can't just ignore it and pretend it's not happening. That's worse. So what we do is we accept realities and we deal with situations as they arise. This is not fake looking after birds. This is real looking after birds. Real looking after birds have real issues. That's because Maxi Baba. It's your friend, Loki. It's your friend. You'll see that the birdie beard is coming up here. There's several reasons for birdie beard. One of them is the fact it's getting cold in Australia. The other one is comfort. If they're happy and comfortable, they fluff right up. Hey, Max. Let's try again. Maxi Baba. Maxi Baba. See if that works. What do you reckon, Loki? Maybe I flip it that way. Maybe that'll help. Is that better?
Hi. Just woke up. Hi.
I'm live streaming, you know.
Oh. Hello. Hello.
Looks like it's family time, guys, so I'll just sign off, I suppose.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all good. All right, well, we had an interesting Opal time. We've had an interesting bird time. Bird time. Hopefully, same bat time, same bat channel, same bat something anyway. I hope you have a wonderful evening, everybody. Dr. Phil out.